Yesterday was actually a rather nice day. Um, I mean, it was nice in the sense that it at first was going to be kind of like a little scary. Well, not scary per se, but like worrisome. See, believe it or not, yesterday my mom actually had a surgery. Nothing, well, technically it is major surgery, but it was surgery on her wrist. So, she got home yesterday. Everything's safe and sound. But, she's going to be, she's going to be in pain for a little while. And, naturally I do feel bad about that, hence that's my low. But my high is, everything's safe and sound. She's clearly doing fine now. And if you couldn't already tell, my act of kindness was helping out my mom whenever I could. Like, grabbing pillows and having her arm be elevated over her heart. Opening things for her because she can't open things with, her wrist being bad, obviously. So, yeah, it was a rather nice evening with my folks. But, yeah. Also, I completely forgot. Season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina is out. Don't worry, I'll do my thoughts on Season 2 after the season's over and I've clearly watched it. Unfortunately, they're only releasing like 3 episodes every week or something, which, I mean, at least it's 2, so no one like binge watches it and then people forget about it, which is smart. I'm actually really kind of glad they do it that way. Speaking of things coming out for Season 2, we finally, hold on, let me do my intro. Good morning, happy Saturday, everyone. We finally got a Season 2 teaser for Invincible. I never did a thoughts on it. Well, to be honest, I never really watched the series all the way through, partly because I saw like the end of the first episode, and here's the thing, I do like gratuitous violence, I suppose, but I don't know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, I can watch a scene now perfectly fine. I'd rather not, but I could. Seriously, that show is like brutal as all hell. How do you... Pardon the language. I mean, some people really want that, I guess. Plus, it's got Steven Yeun and Seth Rogen in it. That's really cool. Okay, so at this point, you know why I'm wearing this jersey. It is NFL. It's this weekend we have the NFL divisional rounds, and it really hammers in the idea that it's one and done from here on out. You either win or you go home, and you don't want to be the guy who goes home. So we have 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow, and obviously, well, here's the thing. Tomorrow it's going to be pretty obvious who I want to win. However, today, not so much. If you can believe it, these are probably 2 of the hardest picks I think I've ever made this year. For sure. So without further ado, let's start with the first game that is today, which is at 4 o'clock. The Jacksonville Jaguars will be going to that fated place, Arrowhead, in Kansas City to play the Chiefs. I've said this before, and I will say it again. Arrowhead is arguably the hardest place to win anywhere. Right up there with the likes of 12th Man and the Superdome. 12th Man is in Seattle, Superdome is in New Orleans. It is very hard to get out a win, even in the regular season alone. But come playoff time, it's borderline impossible. Now, not saying it can't possibly be done. There have been plenty of playoff games that happened in Kansas City that the visiting team has gone up and won. Absolutely. But ever since the arrival of Patrick Mahomes, there has just been an aura to that place where teams don't, like, the fans aren't just like rooting for, I don't know how to describe it. Like, teams legitimately don't want to play there. That's the way to say it. They do not want to go there to play. They do not want to go to Kansas City. They want Kansas City to come to them. That's honestly why before the season started, when I said I had Buffalo winning it all, Buffalo needs to be the number 1 seed. Have Kansas City go to Buffalo. Because after 2 years in a row seeing the Bills lose at Arrowhead, I'm getting tired of it. Luckily, should Buffalo win tomorrow and Kansas City win today, the game will be at a neutral site, which makes me feel a little bit better. But depending on where that game is, you're either going to make a lot of you're going to make a lot of the Bills Mafia upset or mildly annoyed. You don't want the Bills Mafia to be mildly annoyed. They are very good people. They're very proud people. They are very fair people. But trust me, I got some fans who you don't want to get on their bad side. Believe me. I live in the middle of Bills territory, man. Upstate New York is like it's Buffalo. If Buffalo is like the bullseye, then you have, or Bison's eye, and then you have like everywhere around. Like, I'm in like the first layer of the bullseye, I guess. After like the middle, of course. But Buffalo's game is tomorrow. Not gonna do that yet. So let's talk about Jackson City and Kansas City. Jacksonville and Kansas City. I can't believe I just got that one wrong. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I did say this was very hard, and I am being serious. Now, I did say playing at Arrowhead is very difficult to do. That's true. But that's not saying it can't be done before. I just said that. The point I was trying to make is, since Patrick Mahomes has been in the NFL, only 2 people have ever gone to Kansas City during the playoffs and won. And only one of them, I'll say, was legit. The other one, that was Kansas City resting on their laurels. The first one that was legit, that was the GOAT himself, Tom Brady. The other one was Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Not to say that and by the way, I've said this many times. It's not to say that the Cincinnati Bengals were bad. Far from it. They deserved to make it in the playoffs, and quite frankly, they did deserve to be Kansas City. But let's be honest. Everyone could already tell that Kansas City was resting on their laurels when they lost to the Bengals in the AFC Championship. Because they had just beaten Buffalo, and they thought, Cincinnati? We can beat these guys. That's what happened. I guarantee you that's what happened. And sadly, that's where we may stand today. Now, Jacksonville made one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history a week ago. Albeit, they were at home. But Trevor Lawrence got his first NFL playoff win. Congratulations. Give the man his flowers. But now he has to go to the one environment where you never want to play at. Now, granted, he did go to Kansas City earlier this year. And, yeah, Kansas City pulled ahead pretty early, but the final score was 27-17. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars actually made a game out of that. Which begs the question, could they do it again? Because let's be real here. Now that it seems that the Jacksonville Jaguars really are a slow starting team. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it's going to largely depend on Trevor Lawrence's mood. He's either going to want to go in guns a-blazing, or he's not. This has to be one game where it's got to be the former. If that can work, if Trevor Lawrence embraces who he is as the number 1 overall pick from the year before, the year before this past season. So last year. And he plays like he played in the second half against the Chargers the entire game. I do legitimately give them a shot. I do. Because I think the one thing about Trevor Lawrence that a lot of people tend to see is that he's really calm, collected. Unfortunately, due to his facial expressions, it looks like he doesn't care. I mean, of course he does care. I mean, this is his job. He's an NFL quarterback. You know, you better believe he thinks his job is important. So you would think that going to as much as I pressed on about how dangerous Arrowhead is, the Jacksonville Jaguars have a tall task ahead of them, and they do. However, as time has gone on, there have been teams that have legit exposed Kansas City for who they are. I mean, Buffalo just did it earlier this year. And again, Joe Burrow and the Bengals did that, albeit they took advantage of a situation. The fact that Trevor Lawrence appears like he doesn't care, that might actually be let's be honest, him looking like he doesn't care, that might be his greatest weakness or his greatest strength. I think he's finally figured out how to make that into a strength. And if I'm right about that, then I legitimately think that Kansas City may not be going on next round. So, yeah. I'm going to be one of the only ones to make that call. I got Jacksonville over Kansas City. Crazy, huh? I didn't think I'd make that pick, but you know what? Yeah, I did that. You know what? As long as I'm talking upset, let's talk about tonight's game, shall we? Now, if anyone read the description in my video a few days ago, it might seem I was going a little bit mad with power in terms of the fact that every NFL pick I got was correct, and therefore, your favorite team going to the Super Bowl that's actually still in rests in my hands. It might have been a little presumptuous of me to say, but in my defense, I was right 6 times in a row. With that said, if you read the description in that video, I said, don't worry, Giants fans. If y'all are really nice to me, I'll at least ensure you guys make it to the NFC Championship. Well, believe it or not. Well, here's the thing. Full disclosure, you Giants fans didn't really do anything in terms of being quote-unquote nice to me. In fact, you didn't do anything at all. But you know what? That's a good thing. Sometimes doing nothing could be the best possible thing you can do. It works that way sometimes, it does. So, considering that you did nothing good for me, but you didn't do anything bad for me, and considering that I am the glass half full kind of guy, I'll see that you did something nice to me, and therefore, you know what? In the words of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, go Giants, big blue wrecking crew. That's right, I got the Giants beating the Eagles tonight, baby. You better believe it. I think, because remember, when in week 16, the Giants didn't play their starters. And they gave the Eagles a run for their money because the Eagles had all their stars, including Jalen Hurts. I really do give the Giants a chance. I mean, weather is not going to be a factor. I mean, let's listen. I've been to Philadelphia. I've been to New York. This time of year, the weather is virtually the same. Maybe a few degrees warmer than in New York, but let's be real here. No one's going to care. Weather will not play a factor tonight. Now, the crowds, well, I mean, let's be honest. Tonight's game is going to be packed with Eagles fans. It is. You know, it's going to be, you may very well be hard-pressed to find anyone wearing blue in that stadium. Or, yeah, blue. I would have said blue, white, or red, but yeah, I just called them the big blue wrecking crew. Let's go blue. So, in the classic era of blue versus green, I'm going blue. Today, I will be bleeding Giants blue today. I live in the state of New York. Might as well, right? So, yes. My two picks are the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Football Giants. They're both upsets. And you know what? I don't care what winds up happening. As soon as I upload this video, somebody's going to be feeling upset with what I said earlier. But yeah, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Football Giants winning today and going on to each of their respective championships. But only time will tell. I hope you all liked this video, and if you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humbled to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, for those who want to talk to channel, we're going to be here to let you know. Always get back, take care, and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. All right, fine, I'll say it. Go Giants!